Big finish! Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. I am Christopher Dahl, Space Art by Christopher Dahl, and hey Nanu, he's here! Hello, we are here. Thank you so much, Nanu. Good to see you tonight. Happy Wednesday. And Susan Tripp, hey Susan, good to see you here tonight. Thank you for joining. Hey, we're here on a Wednesday night. Got ourselves a nice tea because it's cold in my basement. We're waiting on another snowstorm on its way, but it's going to be a good time here, and it's pretty cozy right now. But hey, thank you everyone for joining. Welcome to another live stream, and we're gonna mess around with some more models. I know I haven't painted in a while, but this has just been fun, so I hope that you're having a good time, and we're just gonna play around with it tonight. Rhonda, hey! I hope you're feeling better, Rhonda. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. And I'm not sure if Rafi is on, but if Rafi, if you're watching, happy birthday, pal. Hope you're doing okay here today, and give a hello to Clee as well. That's fantastic. CL Fantasy Waves, happy Wednesday. We got a whole crowd. This is great. Thank you all for joining. This is going to be fun. Welcome to the studio. It's I've got my camera set up in a different place here today. I've been shooting a lot of model videos for the channel, and not a lot, but I've been doing this. I've been working on a few things that'll be coming up, and it's going to be kind of fun. So I've been trying out the different angles for the desk. Last week I had the camera way up above, and that works out really good for an overhead shot, but tonight we're going to do something kind of cool. Doing good? Awesome. We are too. Let's see. Space Art News. As of this week, my artwork can now be seen in the Woods and River Coffee Shop in Oil City, Pennsylvania here. So if you happen to be in the Oil City, Franklin area, stop on down to Woods and River. Not only do we have amazing coffee and food, but they also have Christopher Dahl's space art. So I want to thank Marcy and Aaron for that. Thank you so much for inviting me along and letting me be the sort of artist of the month here over at Woods and River. I appreciate it. Hey, Wes is here. Howdy, Wes. Greetings. And let's see, I also still have my artwork at the wonderful Clifford's Carpet Shop, also in Oil City. I want to thank everybody there, Anna and Travis and the family. They've been hosting me since the holidays, so thank you so much. I've not had my work in two places in the same town like this before, so that's pretty damn cool. I gotta say, I'm pretty thrilled. Thank you. Yeah, and you know, sometimes you get a little, as an artist, you sometimes get a little concerned about the quality of your work, but I have to say, after having seen it nicely displayed, it's holding up pretty okay. So I think it's kind of fun. And here in the studio, we're going to be making more. So yes, we're not done painting. It's just that we're doing some other fun stuff. Hey, Jean-Marc is here. Greetings. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Glad you're here, Jean-Marc. I was considering last week a couple of things that came up that I completely forgot. I think I put them in the Discord, but let's kick on over to the old art table. Let's check out the view. Hey, look at that. I've got swag. Awesome. Have I had any of my artwork made into a rug for that store? Not yet, Wes, but we've actually when we first moved in, since our house had no real flooring to speak of, we basically have exposed subfloors in a few places. We ran through Clifford's a few times. We've got some really cool. They have some good stuff. Excuse me. At some point in the next year and a half, we're probably going to have to look at doing the hardwood floors here too. So yes, awesome. Hey, your work is holding up just fine in my living room. Thank you. I appreciate it. And oh my gosh, we're only like a month away from the 5th anniversary live stream. It just occurred to me today. Stephanie and I were talking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're practically there. So yeah, that'll be exciting too. I'm looking forward to it. That will be a painting. That will be an oil painting, and it will be a big one. And we're gonna have a good time. So anyhow, models, hang tight. So alrighty, this is really cool. Yours as well. Thank you, Rhonda. Awesome. This is pretty cool. This was I should say, a light kit that is intended for like Lego sets and a bunch of others as well. Jessica got this for me for Christmas this year, and I'm actually really excited about it because these kits are really cool. if you're trying to light a display, a miniature, a model of some kind, uh, there's a lot of these sort of things out here. And in fact, we were talking on Discord. Some people had some great suggestions, which I'll go into in a second. But look at this. I mean, it comes with a battery pack, which is pretty cool. Oh, also let me know if you think the image is a little dark. Let me know. I can adjust that. Anyway, so it has a battery pack. It has a remote, which is amazing. So there's options, and it comes with a bunch of different light Oh, yep, including a little light go dude here. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna just turn that up just a bit. Let's do that. Okay. Whoa, hello. Haha. Try that one more time. There we go. Let's lighten that up just a little bit there. Cool. Yeah, we've got the little dude here. So it's a Lego, but a lot of these are like little clear components, and then a bunch of sizes and varieties of lights. Like here's a little strip light. This is, what is this? This is connecting cables. That's important. And a little ice blue bit light. Here's the control board, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and shadowless strip light. Warm white LED, and oh yeah, another shadowless strip light, ice blue. So this, oh my gosh, ice blue. Oh my word, yeah, glowy bits, exactly. You know what this would be really good for? Let's see here. I wonder if that would. I'd have to take this kit apart to do it, but this would be brilliant for your average Millennium Falcon build. So maybe I should look into doing another Falcon with lights. Yay! That's pretty cool. So this is, I looked up the site. I have a link on the Discord. Light Go. In fact, they have different kits to specific like models and things, which is really cool. Hey, Iridium's here. How you doing tonight? Greetings. Awesome. Making strawberry shortcake and real whipped cream. That's very cool. Oh yeah. You're procuring alcohol. Good plan, Wes. That's a good plan. It's a little light kit. The company is Light Go. There's a link in the Discord under the main channel. It might be back a few days, but yeah, pretty cool. I mean, look at this. It's I'll do a quick battery pack. It has a remote. Oh yeah, look at that connector, USB connector. It's just really cool. I think that this is great, and I fully intend on doing something like this. I was hoping Rafi was here. He sent me an invoice, but I did not order anything. Hey, listen, I'm not Rafi's customer service, Nano. Let me tell you, man. No. You have to go talk to the man, the man himself. No, it's okay. That's so cool. Oh, seriously, strawberry shortcake. We love it. Susan says, you made cookies, ground some whole wheat. Oh my gosh, maybe ground. That must have been amazing. I have some fiber optics I need to send you from Shot Glass. Oh, that's really cool. Hey, listen, I will Iridium. I'd be thrilled. That's awesome. Which gets me to the next thing. I think Jean-Marc, you were asking a bit about fiber optics, I think. And as it turns out, I've got my old fiber optics collection here. I think I have 2 of them. Yeah, here's one right here. So this is also in the Discord. I believe they're still operating. I got these from a place called the Fiber Optics Store. Clever name, right? Exactly. So, hey, don't make me talk to Stephanie. Puts on the Karen hair wig. It's a good look for you, Nano. I think you should go with a Karen, a 24/7. You know, you never know. That might be the thing that kicks it to the next level. I think you'd look good in a Karen wig. We should do that. I've got some Photoshop skills. Oh, I probably have the ends on here. Anyway, yeah. So what's really great is you can. Let me see. Let me make sure it's got the. Oh, I have a bunch of pieces in here. Yep, fiber optic store. Da da da. See, I don't even know if I can really do this to the point where you can actually see it. But I need a light. Anyway, yeah, I cut a bunch of sections up, so this could come in handy as well. I believe I got these to use on an older Star Trek model, and actually the model is to a point where all the fiber optics are in it. But this is the way to go. Get like several different sizes, like 3 or 4 sizes, and you pretty much can cover most kits. And if you get a specific model, maybe you need a specific thickness, but there's a variety. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. Good times. Yes, sir. Fiber. Thanks. Lego currently not available on Amazon. Oh no. They have their own ordering site, Jean-Marc, and they do ship. I don't even think they're based in the US. They do ship to Canada though. So I would say, sorry about that. Where did that go? I would say hit, is it lightgo.com? Put the website on your box, please. Okay. Made in China. Here we go. Scan the QR code for the installation and stuff, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Blah, blah. Really? I have to get your card out? You guys? I don't even have their website. Okay, anyway. That's weird. That to me is a little weird, but that's okay. Alrighty, what are we gonna do today? Well, listen, I like I said, I was doing some work down here, and I keep showing these on our videos, and the poor damn things are unpainted. So I thought maybe we'd actually split the difference a little bit tonight. So if it's not just models, we could do some models and painting. Yes, indeed. We have the Millennium Falcon here, and we have a little blockade runner, which is really kind of fun. These are the Bandai model kits, and so I think I showed these last week. Here's the box art. So this is the blockade runner. That's the old Tantive 4. This is the very first spaceship ever seen in a Star Wars movie, and one of my favorites of the whole bunch. And yeah, there we go. And then of course we have the Millennium Falcon. Now this particular Millennium Falcon kit is specifically from Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. And the reason I know this, and you do too, is that there are only 3. Let me pull this off. On the under. So this is how you identify your Millennium Falcon. This is like if you're fishing off a boat and you find a crab. You could find out whether or not it's a legit Millennium Falcon or not. Yeah. Hey, David Kelly's here. Greetings, David. Nice to see you. So, this is the underside of your Millennium Falcon. So this is where you determine if it's male or female. No. In the original, very first Star Wars movie, there were only 3. Sorry about that. There were only 3 landing legs that popped out of the bottom, which, as it turned out, is not very good for supporting a gigantic set that is huge. So in The Empire Strikes Back, they added a couple of these kinds of boxes here to up front and up over there, and then it ended up with 5 total landing leg things. But to me personally, I like the original design. I think it's a little more, I don't know, it's more falcony to me. I don't, is that a word? It's more falcony. And it's probably a function of the fact that it's the first Falcon that I fell in love with, and that's just the way things are. So anyway, they do offer this model in the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, everything else version. I think they even have one from the newer movies with a different dish too. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to keep these handy because I can't remember. Let's see here. Where are the... I don't even have any damn reference to the Falcon. I don't have any color reference to the darn thing. All right, I'll pull one up. Anyway. Maybe. Where did that... We looked at this last week. Where did that go? No, we don't have any of that. It just has this garbage, right? And then some Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, anyway, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna paint up the Falcon a little bit, even if I have to pull up some images. Yeah, apparently Apparently you're a legs guy. Thanks. Awesome. Okay, same thing with this one. I don't think I have... Yeah, there's not really a good way to... Oh, this one actually has like a guide, but it's on the side of the box. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this tiny thing right here. Thanks a lot! Did you prime on sprue or after build? Hey, Tasty Whale, how you doing? This one I primed after build. And I actually just primed it this after, finally primed them today with my trusty airbrush. I did a little acrylic paint, thinned down with isopropyl alcohol, so it's a little hot, just to get a surface piece on it. So on these, it didn't make any sense to prime it on the sprue. I just decided I would give it a blast. Perfect for old eyes. Yeah, you're kidding. These things are tiny. But the detail on it is I hope that's coming through. The detail on it is gorgeous. So I've been trying to do very thin coats of paint. I do not try to prime these models with rattle can spray paint. You will absolutely flood them, and you'll fill in a lot of this detail. I would say go as thin a paint as you possibly can. Skip the primer if you have to. Yeah. Now I did the same thing here for the blockade runner, but as you can see, there's a little. I mean, they're not the same color exactly. This was molded in a slightly different color, and because the primer is so thin, I just really just wanted to get something on there. I probably should have primed it a day or two before, but anyway, let's start with the Falcon, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm just gonna take a moment here. I'm gonna look up on my trusty phone for a, let's see, Millennium Falcon painting guide. There we go. I'm sure there's one out there. Let's see. All I really need are some images. There we go. So yeah, we'll find some images here, right? Mr. Surfacer 1000 for the win. That I am 100%. Yes, 100%. I completely agree with you on that one. That Mr. Surfacer is the shit for sure. Save to photos. Okay, here we go. Someone uploaded the fine molds painting guide, which to me and to my eyes is probably going to be just fine, but I can't read it because it's so low res. Okay, there we go. Yes, there is a product called Mr. Surfacer. It is made by a Japanese company, and it's amazing. Save to photos. Here we go. Let's try that one now. Hold tight here. That's better. Yeah, see, so now we got a good one. That's going to be a little better. I can sorry folks, late to the party, but hey, greetings mediocre. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. Actually, let me grab a thing here. I've got also have my trusty recharger, so that I can keep my phone topped off, which is really cool. So there we go. All right, I'm just gonna keep that handy. See, I'm mostly concerned about like the location of the colors. There's gray panels, and then there's these sort of rust colored panels. The other things like these details I can do just fine. So yeah, let's start from the beginning, shall we? I think the first thing I'm going to do is get some black, because there are some... Oh, look, this one, yeah, I should probably share that. So here's a shot. This is definitely an Empire Strikes Back version with the additional landing legs, whereas this one doesn't have those. Yes, okay, cool. I always thought, yeah, this is... Listen, if you're painting a Millennium Falcon, don't do this shit, okay? This is stupid. This is absolutely stupid. It is not accurate. We won't be doing that. Sorry. Yeah. Don't do that with your Falcon. The Falcon was dirty. It wasn't that dirty. And honestly, if this thing's flying straight, these would be straight. These streaks would be straight back if it did that, but it's not a freaking diesel engine. Sorry, I'll stop. Rant on. Oh, don't get the nerds started, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've got the Falcon here, and it may be hard. This is my glass plate here for. Let me see if I can position this nicely. There we go. I have some real. These aren't these aren't like epic quality brushes, but they're tiny, so they're gonna go there. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask here. How you doing, mediocre? How's the week going over there? I hope you enjoy my little stepping into the model verse, if you will. Space grime. No, not diesel. We're coal. Yes, the Millennium Falcon. Remember the scene when Han Solo had Chewbacca shoveling coal into the engine of the Millennium Falcon, and then it hit the iceberg, and that girl and that kid ran through, just like, and there was that stupid music. Yeah, I remember that. It's a version of Star Wars none of us actually saw. Yes. Okay. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Colors. We're gonna go for the old carbon black here. Model makers. You know, the dilithium crystal burn off, right? I did like, and I did always appreciate that at least Gene Roddenberry said, I don't want any rocket engines coming out of the back of my Enterprise. It's not a Flash Gordon ship, right? So yeah, that's cool. All right, so I got myself a trusty brush, and can anyone actually, if you have difficulty seeing this, I don't know if I can get it in any closer. Okay, I can physically move the camera if you like. So please let me know. One ripe for a fan film. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's get a little carbon black out here. So listen, I'm not a great model brush painter, okay? You might think I am because I paint paintings. One of the reasons I paint paintings. It's easy to deal with getting out of the lines. So let's just go right ahead here, and I need a little practice thing. So yeah, let's get the old box here. How we doing on this? So I'm gonna get some black. Oh, the paint that I'm using. Okay, hang tight. Before I go too far with this, I want to introduce the paint. Many of my model building friends, some of the people on here, and myself included, we were all used to buying model paint at the local hobby shop. Well, it seems like the model paint companies are shutting down, folding, and reducing their supply so much. And because all of my model paint dried up from age and so forth, I started collecting this stuff. This is the golden high flow acrylics, and this stuff you can airbrush it straight out of the bottle. It's the same consistency as a lot of the airbrushable model paints that are out there. And as you can see, I've collected a pretty good chunk of these, right? So, in terms of replacing model paints, what you can do is you can pick out, like, let me find it here. Da 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 da. Not a gray. So, you get things like neutral gray, right? This is a neutral gray 5, meaning it's like a 50% gray. And you get, like, a little chromium oxide green or one of the blues. And if you need a lighter gray, you've got your neutral gray number 8. And it literally just takes like a tiny, tiny drop of any color to make it like some German military color, Japanese military color, US military color, what have you. It's very, very simple to replicate any color. And, you don't even really need to get down into a Pantone match on this stuff. But if you want to, you can. So this is what I've been painting. Always room for more models on the web. That in itself makes my week fantastic. Thank you, Mediocre. I appreciate it. In one of the early Trek episodes, didn't Kirk or Spock have the line saying something about firing rockets to break out of orbit? Yes, in the cage. There's not the version that was shown on TV in the menagerie, but the original cage with all the extra footage. Spock, who's now in command, does scream something like, "Yes, hit the rockets." So yeah. And then they kind of kind of cut back on that. JTAMs, right? Exactly. Hey, whatever works, man. Yeah, all your Citadel paints dried out. See all Fantasy Waves? Yeah, same that happened to mine. Thanks for sharing alternative options. Oh yeah, absolutely. And in fact, what's really cool is, I'll try to, if I someone remind me later, I will try to post the link. Golden has a color computer calculator app on their website. So if you decide that you absolutely must have a very specific color, and you can either get the CMYK or RGB values to it, you can plug it in and it'll give you some variations for how to mix their paints to match that color. And of course you can catch it a little bit here and there, but it tells you like by the drop. It's really cool. So yeah, someone remind me about that. I'll try to here. Let me just take a note here. Da da da. Golden paint calc Discord. Okay, cool. I forgot I got my little whiteboard here that I just cleaned off. Awesome. Fun fact about military colors: it is whatever is close, and a lot of Navy ships have a specific color close to the fleet gray. That I've heard about this. The civilian sponsor for the ship picks. The civilian sponsor for the ship picks the shade. That I didn't know they all had different shades, but I think that's awesome. I have a couple of relatives and friends who have lived through the joy of Navy ship repaints. Painting battleship chains again? Yes. Wes says, I still have Model Master and Humbrol paints from the 80s, plus a ton of Tamiya paints. Oh, yeah, so it used to be model paints were all mineral spirits, so, paint thinner. And those lasted by and large a lot longer than the acrylic formulations. And that's because in the as long as the pigment doesn't dry in the bottom of the jar too much, you can basically revive it with the thinner in it. But acrylic paints, though, after a certain point, they catalyze the way acrylic is supposed to. It eventually you're going to get to a point where you've got colored rocks in a jar and you just have to chuck them. All right, so let's enough blabbing. That was me trying to avoid the inevitable, which is I'm gonna have to paint this thing, and it's gonna be bad. So I'm gonna try to paint the windows here, and they have little what do you call it? Little raised bits for the window styles. So I'm gonna do it my way. I'm just gonna kind of come in here, and I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this. I'm just gonna throw the paint in. Oh man, I can barely see this. You aren't kidding. Okay, so I'm just going to throw the paint in. What we're going to do here. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to worry too much really about the accuracy. When I was younger, I would try to paint this and be like, "Oh my god, I got out of the lines." Well, you're going to get out of the lines. There's just no doubt about that, right? So, I'm painting this also with carbon black, which I have to say is one of the blackest uh carbon black is one of the blackest acrylic paints outside of, say, the Stuart Semple stuff, right? Now I need like a little cloth. Let me see. Well, I might be able to use a remnant of a paper towel. Let's see how this works here. Ba, ba, da, ba. And then you just kind of brush it off a bit. This will sort of work. I'm gonna have to come back in later and dry brush it, but at least I can get some in there. There we go. And then I did remove some from the middle of this window. But the cool thing is it's the Millennium Falcon. It's going to be dirty. So all we really need to do is make sure that there is a proper base level of black in these wells, and we will get that really sweet, very Millennium Falcon looking window pattern. Because let's be serious, if you don't get that window pattern right, it ain't the Falcon. So there we go. And I'm going straight in with black to do this. So yeah, it kind of looks like I burned the tip. Anyway, except here in Cali, you can't buy you can't buy any real mineral spirits anymore? I did not realize that. Okay, well that kind of sucks. Wow. I mean, the stuff is dangerous as shit, really. It's no joke. I stopped using it a while and went exclusively to. And I'm gonna get the little windows behind the gun turrets here, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I just need it filled in. I'll dry brush and deal with any of the rest of it later, but I have to get under the little gun. Yeah, that's hilarious. I don't know how much that's gonna be. Well, that is very unfortunate that you cannot get mineral spirits in California anymore. The thing I miss about mineral spirits and enamel paint is, oh my god, it airbrushes so well. Oh, you know, if you've never airbrushed with a solvent-based paint like mineral spirits or lacquer, it's like all the crap you put up with dealing with acrylic through an airbrush just disappears. It's just like, oh, I'm shooting butter. It's great because the solvent in solvent-based paints prevents them, or at least reduces by a hell of a lot, the paint from drying in the airbrush. And unfortunately, acrylic paint, no matter what the formulation, has a really good time just drying in the airbrush. That's like all it's meant to do, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna grab a smaller brush, another small brush, but not a painting. I think I got one here. Oh, I've got a million of them over here. Hold on a second, but I need a small one. Ah, I see it right now. Okay, there we go. Everything here is isopropyl alcohol or acetone based, which means super hard to clean brushes and paint mistakes. You know, acetone atomized like that isn't really much better than mineral spirits either, which is really weird. Uh, isn't there like a way to like make your own mineral spirits? I mean, that'd be the way to go, right? Okay, so I did all the overpaint here, so I'm just grabbing a brush with a little bit of water and trying to pick it up, and I'm just making a mess. But again, that's okay. The Falcon's messy. It's just messy. It's very messy. Han Solo, not so good at keeping the bird clean, right? There we go. See now because I've got watered down black paint, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Now I'm starting to get into the pin wash phase, and I didn't want to do that yet. What's the problem with mineral spirits? It's very toxic. It really is. It's not good. You definitely shouldn't be breathing it. Mineral spirit's not dangerous if you just wear an organic filter mask. That is true, Wes. It really, if you wear an organic filter mask, you can do good. But yeah, you really have to like directly sniff the can to be damaging. That's true. Yeah. Or if you're sitting in your studio airbrushing it and you don't have any ventilation, that ain't so good either. So yeah, there's issues. Okay, so I got the paint on there, and I'm okay with that. The intention here again is to touch this up. It's gonna look like shit for a while. It's like my paintings. You have to accept the fact that there are certain stages where it has to look like crap. Well, this is just annoying. My little stand is just not being a stand. So let's take care of that. Where'd my glue go? There we go. Whoop. And now for a time from our sponsor with Ambroid Pro Weld, the glue that you cannot get at all anymore unless you buy the other stuff that is made and sold through Micromark because they're gone. Okay, cool. All right, come back here, you little shit. I do talk to my models. It's really not good. And really, all of these people are completely ignoring the fact that, well, sure, mineral spirits are dangerous, but oh my god, it's so good. It's so good to paint with. All right, I'll leave that alone. So let's get some. I'm gonna work on the bottom here first. All right, I think we've consumed ourselves well with that piece. I'm backing off using acetone to clean my 3D prints in favor of 90% isopropyl alcohol, but man, that acetone works so well. Oh, I didn't know that acetone was an option for 3D prints. That's cool. I'm kind of I'm reasonably familiar with the 3D print process and world, but I just haven't done a lot of it. Come back here, you little ship. Yes, exactly. Wes says, I always airbrush in a fan-ventilated station I made from a plastic storage tub and a fan and a dryer hose. Oh, that's perfect, Wes. Yeah, that's kind of the setup that I have. I've kept my fan, but the box part itself was broken down. I do have a fan behind me and a vent fan out in the other room, so there's an airflow and the heater's coming straight in, so that's pretty cool. I actually kind of hated painting with enamels. So thick and messy, I much prefer acrylics. Oh, yeah, Wes. So yes. It's straight out of the bottle like I'm doing here, terrible. But if you did just a nice little thin down, it was, I actually, with enamels, I remember I brush painted one of my Star Trek models without doing any like Aztecing. I just kind of did the whole thing. It was a smaller one. I think it was the Equinox that Starcrafts did a while ago. I think that's the one that I did. And it was just like, oh my God. Yeah, you start with a cardboard box. You just need a container, right? But some kind of a vent fan is very, very nice. Let's see, but also lacquers are awesome. Oh, spraying lacquer. Oh, out of a airbrush or a paint sprayer. Oh baby, yes indeed. There's a reason why hot rod cars look so sweet when they've got a good paint job. Yes, absolutely. Cool. I have that model. It's awesome. I agree with Wes, not being a fan of enamel paints. Yeah. It's I'm not gonna lose too much sleep over the fact that they're kind of gone right now, but they did serve a nice purpose. All right, so let's see. Next up, I'm gonna kind of try to make this rust color, and I've seen this color on a few different models. It's basically it's not really so maroon tends more towards the purples, whereas this is almost in that like red, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very gray red too. It's not a bright red. So let's see if we could do this. You can talk to your models, that's fine. Just when they start answering, you should seek help. I'm not gonna tell you what they're saying to me. All right, so to make our red, I'm gonna get some quinacridone magenta. There we go. And I don't have a good light back here. I should probably do that. There's more of that. Pyrrole orange. Where's my red? Honestly, I probably should start with, burnt sienna might not be bad. This might not be a bad place to start. There's another red that I have. Where is it? Raw umber. I thought I had a red. Yeah, it was pure pyrrole red. Watch, I'm not going to be able to find it now. Did I move it somewhere? Oh boy. If I can't do this, I'll be pissed. Let's see. I'm not happy. I can't find me red. Okay. It's not a good red. It's a very orangey red. But I thought they were all in here. Apparently not. Okay, I'm gonna run out to the other room and see if it's in the cabinet in a different place. Hang tight, folks. I really want me red. Aha! Wait till that's your Keurig. I should be more clear in cleaning my resin 3D prints. Acetone on filament, not good. Melts it into a puddle of goo. Ooh, that's not so good. Oh, no. Mediocre says, you got that one. Wes says, if we hear him answering on the live stream, maybe it's time for an exorcist. Yes. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything, I swear. I put goofy eyes on my trash can, and now I find myself talking to him. That's perfect. Okay, I'm going to leave you with Jeb here. Whoa. There we go. I'm gonna leave you with Jeb while I go see if I can ascertain where that red is. There we go. Little Jeb action there. Whoa. This is my friend Joe 3D printed him for me. And I'm not used to this anymore. Oh, he's really hard to see. Okay, I'll be right back. Hang tight. 2 seconds. I don't have any music today. Down the torpedoes. Right back. Okay, he's out of luck. I couldn't find it, and I think I remembered. Okay. The reason why I can't find my red from this is because, and I just remembered it out there. I never ordered it. On my planets project, I used the orange. I didn't have a need for a red. So okay. Smart guy. Okay, cool. Da, da, da. Have fun, man. Gotta go. It's still on. Yes, I know. But interesting. You decided a trash can was male, Rhonda. That's a good point. His name is Bernie the Trash Can. Yeah, Trashy McTrashface. I do like that one. All right, here we go. Trashy McTrashface. All right, sorry, Jeb. Okay, we're gonna do this here. Da da da. Let me pull this in. I feel like this is dark, but I could be wrong, so I'm not sure. Let me move that guy out of the way. We're gonna get a little bit of this going. So I'm gonna start with some burnt sienna, which is already kind of in the ballpark of this thing. And it's gonna get messy on my tray here, but I don't mind. If I really feel like I need to mix up a bunch of any one color, I'll take a moment and do it. Peel all the crap off. So I'm gonna get some burnt sienna here. And you see that's kind of rust color, and that's really where we kind of want to be anyway. And then I'm gonna tint it with a little bit of quinacridone magenta. There we go. Now it needs to be a little bit chalky, so for that I'm gonna do. I could do neutral gray. Yeah, let's do the neutral gray. This is like a very very light gray. We probably won't need much, but we'll do that. Okay. Now, different brush. Let's see. What do I want? What do I want to use for? Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm kind of just grabbing I have a little jar of my sacrificial brushes here, so let's just get this together, shall we? I'm gonna grab some of this. This is me painting my models. You know what? This is getting pretty close to what I needed. That's really funny. So yeah, so if you don't have red, but you have raw sienna and a good magenta, hey, that's going to get you right in. I want a little touch of the gray here. There we go. Now, that's the only thing about moving to these paints. If you're used to doing model paints, you're really going to have to start getting comfortable with mixing. And that's not always everybody's forte, I know. But I'm here to tell you that you can do it, and you'll probably be able to do it faster than you realize. Also, because I am such a nice guy, I posted a photo of my Discord. Oh, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I don't have Discord running. Sorry, I thought I had it running on the screen here. I don't think so. Anyway, I'm gonna put this offer out to everybody too. Actually, that's gonna work on the blockade runner, so I'm gonna remember this. If you do decide to go this route with your paints and your model paints, and you're struggling with how to get a very specific color, go ahead and seek me out. You can drop me a line. I'm happy to help out. So yeah, absolutely. All right, let me go back to my thing here. So we want it turned upright. Kind of I'll move this out of the way so we can kind of see what we're doing here. What can I do with that? Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to try to get in some of these pieces, and I'm just looking here where some of these are, and we're just going to go for it. I mean, it's not perfect. I would challenge anyone to, like, remember exactly the paint pattern. Unless your name is Jason Eaton, I won't give you that challenge. I think I can get by pretty close. Now, remember, I'm much more of a what do you call it? Much more of a rivet counter on the Star Trek side of things. So that looks like it's this one right here. There we go. All right. Da 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 da. Yeah, I like that. There we go. The that's interesting. It doesn't cover very nicely. Maybe I need more. If I don't like it, I can come back and do some more. Who knows? There we go. First one. First pass. Now the nice thing about this is that well, there's two things. One, none of these panels are like exactly one color. The Falcon is basically a it's a dirty, beaten up ship. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna go for it. And then there's one back here. If you're really careful, then the little etched pieces will save you some hassle, really. There's a little one up here. Hey, you know what? This isn't fair. This one actually isn't on here, but I'm gonna put it on anyway. I the little end hairs on this particular brush suck. I might have to get one of the other ones. I'm gonna do it right now. I used that brush once before, and once you use one of these things, that's what happens with a cheap brush. Once you use one of these things, it loses the tip. Yeah, there we go. All right. Got a little one up here. Let's do this guy right there. Oh my God! And then this one has. Bear with me here, folks. I'm very sorry. Ah! She's a patchwork. Exactly. Corellian red. Right, exactly. I just made Corellian red. All right, let me I need a piece of paper. God damn it. Here. All right, not going to do that. I'm going to do this one. Right. There's like one little tiny stupid too long filament on the end of this. All right, you get what you pay for. All right, there we go. Let's get that on there. Yes, this is a much. Oh God, yes, this is a much better brush. I can actually get that on there. Thank you. All right. There's one over here. Let's see. I think it is. Oh, is it inside? Yeah, I'm gonna put it inside there. There we go. We're gonna put it inside there. There we are. This is kind of just the let's get the shit on here as much as we can. There isn't much red on the bottom. That's kind of cool. There's a bunch on here. Like this one right here. One of the things I love about the Falcon is it definitely looks like it was built, and pieced together. Like, have you ever seen one of those like cars on the street that has like one black door, but the rest of it is like powder blue? Yeah, I think that's kind of what happened here with Han Solo and his Falcon a little bit. I think he took parts off of another Falcon that was this kind of rust-colored red. So we're just going to get a few on there. There we go. That may be a little bright. But as you can see here, once we kind of start getting some weathering on this, it's going to tone all the colors down, which is really cool. All right. I think that's all the red. I'm not going to do the yellows yet. So let's go to the top of the Falcon. The top has far more red patches. There's a bunch on the back. There's some over here. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. These ones I'm a little more worried about getting right, just because most people will be looking at the top side of the Falcon anyway. And God, this looks terrible. Anyone watching this video right now? Yes, yes, I know that looks terrible. Don't at me. No. All right, let's get some. Let's get the engine bits up here. We've got one that's like right there. There. I'm going to do this one. Jason, if you're watching, listen, man, don't do it. Don't do it. I know you're going to say, oh, it's the wrong one. No. I love giving my fellow model builders grief about this, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, like the 90s cars that have some non-matching junkyard doors. Exactly. That's what this one definitely looks like. In fact, someone, I can't remember what year it was. And was it even at Wonderfest? Somebody did they took like one of the Millennium Falcon model kits, and they basically they made it this red color. Like it was the original red Falcon. It was really cool looking, actually. It was kind of one of those models where you go, damn, I wish I'd done that. It was really neat. I think there were some like more yellow on it, and it was just it just looked, I don't know, it looked badass. I kind of dug it. And again, it was the assumption that yeah, this was it was exactly that. It was one of those. I see, it's this one right here. Okay, it was as if someone had found the red Falcon and took pieces off of it for this one. Oh, look at that. I got that wrong. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting it. Da, 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 da. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the other thing. I haven't dedicated the camera to being exactly in focus. It's still on autofocus. Not sure if I really like that much, but we'll find out. There are two up here, so we're gonna get those. And it's okay if they're a little munged. That's okay. Two up there. Right. That and that. There's a little tiny one right here. Yeah. All right. Da, da, da. Oh, backside of this one. Oh, it's like the top of this. Okay, cool. The nice thing is I think we're going to be really close if that helps any. Right down here. And I don't you've seen me do that on the live stream too, is I actually paint a couple of ships where it's just a color, like a Chris Foss style. I really dig that. This one's pretty important because this is like whenever I look at a Millennium Falcon model, I just see these two right here, or any shot of the Falcon, and it's kind of tricky. There's like just this little one. It's like the only one that I really see and go, oh yeah, that's red. There we go. All right, very cool. Oh damn! Most of the models of Wonderfest are like, oh damn, I should have thought of that. Yeah, right. It's evil, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Now, for the benefit, is that the last of my red? I think it is. Let's see here. Da, da, da. Oh, is that on? I'm missing one. Ah, yes, I see it now. Okay, cool. Yeah, there was another one on the bottom. There's another one on the bottom, and it is right here. Okay, cool. So it's this section right there. And it's a pretty big one, too, if I'm not mistaken. Da 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 da. And it comes back pretty far. Okay, okay, cool, cool. All right. Neat. So the next thing I kind of want to do, these little insets here. Now, when I first painted the Millennium Falcon that I had in about, 1980, 81 or so, I painted all these just really dark black like this. That was a mistake. It looked terrible. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use my neutral number 5. And what this is going to do is give me a little darker, I think. Yeah, a little darker so that I can push the shadow factor there a little bit. God, that almost came out looking like a metallic. That's really weird. I probably should have shaken it more. Okay, that's a little dark. So I'm going to grab this and lighten that up a bit. There we go. Yeah, about like that. That's what we want. A little darker. A little darker. There we go. Okay. Actually, that's a pretty good gray for the gray, but they have 2 gray tones, don't they? Oh, they do. Oh, the grays have, I don't like it. What the heck? All right, we'll figure it out. Okay, who knows for sure? Is it 1 gray or is it 2? Oh, it's 1 gray. I'm seeing a shadow on the photo. Okay, cool. Mediocre. I showed up late. Do you just have a piece of glass down that you have the paint on? Yes, exactly. That's exactly. It's a slab of glass, and I love I love using just slabs of glass for my paint palettes. Mediocre. If you can find a tempered one, it's even better. Yeah. So the cool thing about this is that when you're done with it, you can just use a razor blade and scrape it off, and it's acrylic paint, so it's like super easy to deal with. Um, yeah, I like the super easy to deal with parts. Okay, yeah, okay, let's see what this looks like first. So maybe this will end up being our paint. I don't know. So I'm just going to drop this inside in quantity. There we go. In fact, actually for this, since I'm not being particularly accurate, I'll go back to my fuzzy brush I was griping about before, and we'll just drop this all in here. Yeah, there we go. So this is just going to help. They are shadowed, so I'm just going to darken them up a bit. There we go. Oh yeah, if you missed it too, I don't have these painted exactly white. It's a little mixture of white with an 80% gray, so it's kind of like a, you know, not eggshell because it's not warm. It's a very neutral, like 90% gray, I guess. So yeah, but let's get some color in those. There we go. Yeah, we'll get around this side in here. This is half the fun about the Falcon is that they're all there. Ba-ba-da. You know what I'm going to do, though? Hang tight, everybody. Let me bring this on down. Since I kind of can do this, why not just... All right, let's do another thing here. Manual focus. And then I'm just going to do the focus on this so that I can definitely see it okay. There we go. All right. How's that looking? And then I'm going to bring this back. There we are. Okay. Thank you for allowing me a minute to make that adjustment. This way I think we'll be able to see it better. Right? Okay, thanks. I'll be implementing the model builder's rule of rob and duplicate. Yes. Absolutely. You feel free to rob and duplicate. I got the trick from a couple of painters that I was following on YouTube, and once I tried it, mediocre, it was like, oh, Yeah. So, especially okay, so when you're when you first kind of if you're getting into like, painting, everyone uses these little they'll give you like the paper palettes, the disposable one, and that's fine. They work out great. But you get a little sick of trying to, buy those damn things. It's just another supply you need to buy, and that's just no good. So for me, it was kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna do I'm just gonna do my own thing. Okay. All righty. And the really cool thing is, there's a little tiny ledge to this glass, so as you see, the paint is kind of running away. I've very rarely had the paint run off of one of these, especially when I'm using them in these quantities. But when I was working on the planets for Tellus Museum, I had about 4 slabs of this glass going at any given point in time. I kind of reserved one for each planet. And when I would have a dried up spot like this of one particular color that I had very carefully, prepared and mixed for this, I would leave it on there so I could match what I was working on. Yeah, knowing full well that acrylic has a tendency to dry a slightly different shade than when it's wet, and that's fine if you can kind of work within that and understand it and get comfortable with it. It's not too bad. It leaves you a good reference anyway, and that's really the important thing. It's close enough, right? Team Skull Cali, hey, greetings. Have a good time, John Mark. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. All right, then the other ones we want to do here are uh, the things. This is actually a Star Wars Trivial Pursuit question for anyone that's ever played. How many solar panels are on the top of the Millennium Falcon? I think it's how many round solar panels, and I'm like, I didn't know they were solar panels, but I'm gonna go with 6. Boom, got the wedge. Actually, that particular game, I won the whole board in one turn, and then they said, let's play again, and I got to go first, and I won the whole board in a single turn again. Nobody got to play. They don't let me play Star Wars Trivial Pursuit anymore. Now, in all fairness, I'm really good at I was really good at the original 3 movies, the first 3, 4, 5, and 6, Empire Strikes Back and blah 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 and all that stuff. So those ones, not bad. But when you start getting into the prequels, the sequels, the books, the series, I would be like, it's not for me anymore. Boom. Susan says, I got a class picture frame and use that for my paints. Oh, yeah. The edges of the frame keep the paint from running off. I taped off the edges. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good one for me to think of. I might consider that one as I go forward, Susan. Sometimes for my acrylic paints, I will use a Pyrex dish with a lid for a palette. Oh, excellent idea. Keeps your paints from drying out fast. It's like what do they call that? A wet palette, right? That's I've got one of those over here too. It's pretty nifty. I like it. Up, my black dried. I'm about ready to demonstrate the thing I was just talking about, clearing off your palette. No, I'm not going to clear it off. I'm going to darken these guys up a little bit. And again, I went way out of the lines, but that's because I'm trying to push the paint. I want to make sure the paint gets down into all the details, at least for this color. And we'll save the rims of these when we kind of dry brush the edge of it. Actually, I might be able to do a little bit of this. Let's see. If you're really careful, sometimes you can save that stuff on the first pass. There we go. Fixing it in post. I know I'm being way more gentle with this than I need to be. That's okay though. All right, let's work on the next color, if you will. The next color, which is it's kind of that gray, but I'm gonna put some more out. This, a little bit of that, a little bit of my neutral gray, and I kind of want I kind of want a little, I'm gonna grab my blue. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little cerulean blue here. I'd like a little bit of a blue tone to this. You know, a cooler tone for this gray. There we go. And my trusty mixing brush. Let's get this color together. Da 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 da. All right, and a little touch of blue. And a little touch of blue. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't take much. Like not even a drop, right? And this'll be hard to it's hard to see because it's not in the camera. Sorry about that. I'm not as aware of where the camera is looking on this, and actually it may be falling too. So let me there we go. I guess it isn't. Okay, cool. Ba-ba-da. Little touch more. Too much. Too much. Nah, it's actually gonna be fine once we mix that all in. No, it's actually gonna be really good. I like cerulean blue in this environment of paints because it tints just enough without taking it over. Whereas on my paintings, I'm a crazy man for phthalo blue, right? So there we go. Make sure the picture frame is glass, not plastic. Yes, yes. And tempered glass if you can. You can put a gray paper or paint under the glass. Yeah, that's actually... Usually I have that, so why don't I grab one? I'm not going to... I usually do... I actually usually do put it like a white piece of paper or a colored piece of paper under, and I don't have it... I don't have that one right now. Okay, so... Now we're looking at, let's see if we can do this here. Oh, it's all right. It's not going to do that. We're looking at these little gray panels, so I'm going to see if I can get that in here. And we'll start with the top. So, let's just see what we got. Shall we? All right, there's a... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this right in the dead center. That's going to help me. Besides, it's got my logo on it. So we're going to do a little... little guy right here. That's a little too dark. I feel like that is too dark. Yep. And I'm going to make an adjustment right now. Way too dark. Give me that. Give me that lighter. Give me that lighter paint. Yes. Lighten me up. I'm going to make that determination right now. There we go. And yeah, this is the perfect time to make an adjustment like that too, by the way, because you don't want to get all the way through and then go, oh yeah, I didn't really like it, and then have to come all the way back and repaint everything. It's like, oh gosh, that was no fun. Now, I did remove some of the blue tone to it, so I'm going to restore that, which will bring it back down another level. There we go. That's what we're looking at. Let's try that one now. All right. For those of you just joining, we are painting the Millennium Falcon. Yes. I'll try to cover over that one, but it's not going to work. Okay, never mind. Never mind, Cheddar. We'll do this one right here. Strangely enough, this one goes like right in between those. There we go. Oh, he's scared to pooch on that one. It's not so great. Okay, let's get the other side here. That was a little better. Oh, yeah, it's got a little bit on the edge. I'm adding some detail that wasn't originally there, so just to let everyone know. Yeah, we'll just do this panel. So somewhere out there was a bluish gray falcon too, so yay! Hey, Edward's here. How you doing? And Cameron, how you doing? Awesome. Welcome aboard. Hey, we're doing some falcon painting. We're doing falconry tonight, right? All right, I think it's this panel right here. Yeah, that one. There we go. See, I've already painted over some of my first mistakes. Isn't that great? Awesome. Okay, cool. Da 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 da. A little edge here. A little edge lord. No, anyway, sorry. Got that one. There's one right behind. Oh, it's like right under the stand. How convenient. That makes that easier. Oh, let me move my microphone off. It's our unusual space art evening. Space art with models. I'm gonna do the other side next. We'll come all the way around we'll come around the horn is what we'll do, right? There we go. There's two here. This one. What's really funny is I thought I was gonna blow through these two models tonight and then have to build one, but look at this. I'm like, we're just cruising along. Moving right along. And a little one right here. Where is that one? It goes, it's like right there, but yeah, it's not that big. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Little one down in here. The funny part about this is that I'm like going to great lengths to try to match this paint job when you just know it was like, I don't know, I just put some panels on it. They were probably like, it was like midnight on on a Sunday, and they've been working for 2 weeks straight, and they had to sit and paint the Falcon. So they're like, just put some panels on it, get it done. Like Lucas is coming tomorrow and he's pissed. I always thought your voice reminds me of someone who watched Mark Crilly, and you sound close to... Oh, you think I sound like Mark Crilly? Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I like Mark Crilly a lot. It's yeah, the old voices voices in our heads. Okay, aren't too many more around there. There's one there. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just made a sticker. There we go. Now nice. Where's that one? Oh, it's under here. Oh, okay. So it's like on this, kind of, I think. There we go. All right. Ba-ba-da-ba. And then there's a line, this one, right? Yeah, this one right here. Okay. There's a little one on the bottom. It's just a short dude. There we go. Got that one right there, and I just blobbed it. You blobbed it. How dare we? Okay, so we got a pretty good. Okay, we got some Falcon colors going here. All right. And let's look at the top. The top's gonna go around this way. I know this looks terrible. Don't look too closely at this. I'm firing for effect. We're a long way off here. All right, grays. Let's start with this side here. There's a little one right there. And again, now that we're on the top, I have to be very careful because everything's going to be obvious. Oh, this is actually... I'm getting excited, people, because honestly, I looked at this thing for so long that I never dreamed I would have the painted version. It's just been sitting on my shelf. I've only been busy. I'm gonna claim busy. What's really cool about this, and I can attest to this fact, and probably anybody else that builds these kinds of things and paints them, when you kind of get on a roll, time stands still, and you don't know what happened to your life. No. In a good way. In a good way, I say. Yeah. So very cool. Very, very cool. A friend of mine way back had scratch built his own Millennium Falcon, about this, a little bigger than this, right? And I always just thought, man, that's just so cool. That was so cool. And I think he did it using plans out of Fine Scale Modeler magazine. Somebody one year did yay, here's how you make your own Millennium Falcon out of sheet styrene, and you just kind of work it, right? Man, he did a great job with it. It was gorgeous. It was really detailed, and like all this stuff was etched in and modeled. Yeah. I assume you're gonna do some kind of wash. Yes, we're gonna do washes and dry brushing. But you know what? I was hoping I could do it tonight, but to do that, you really need to let this dry, otherwise you're gonna screw up. And by dry, I mean not just dry to the touch, but like it has to sit. I might have to pull it up again and do it on a different stream. I won't do this on my own. I'll save the wash for the live stream because that, as you know, Wes, that's just fun, isn't it? I mean, that's like I might do a couple of dots here before the end of the night to demonstrate the process a little bit. But yeah, good times, man. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, it goes up the side too. I see. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. I feel like these grays are a little dark too. So if I were really like if I were doing this for a contest and I was unhappy with like say, these are too dark, the grays are too dark, a lot of times what I'll do is I will go over with an airbrush with the base color and it tones everything down. You just have to do like a light mist and it really tones everything down nicely. So yeah, you're not going to ruin anything, which is really cool. I mean, you can get it way, way off, but there are ways we can affect the change. Okay, this one is really unusual because it doesn't match. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, this one doesn't really match the shape of the model either, which is very interesting. And I think that's because. Okay, so that goes there, and then this goes on there. I think it's because they're just two different companies. I think I'm looking at a Fine Molds instruction sheet, and the reality is Fine Molds has kind of their own shapes for things, and that was the one disappointment I had. I spent all this money on the 72nd scale Fine Molds Falcon, only to find that it's not as accurate as they had advertised it to be, and I got a little annoyed at that. I'm not happy with how much they effed it up. So I never white finished it. It'll look great when it's finished, but I didn't buy it to be a toy-like variation of the Falcon. I bought that one to be the Falcon, and the Falcon has some very specific shapes to it. So there's my 2 cents. Um, yeah, I believe this completes the um, the gray part. Yeah, I think so. Let me just look on the bottom here. Oh, 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 oh! Back of the dish. We've got to get it on the back of the dish. How dare I? Oh my gosh, I almost forgot that. That would be bad. There's one on this side. There we go. There we go. Back of the dish, front of the dish, sides. No, we're good. We're good. What about the other side? Yeah, the other side. No, we're good. Okay, cool. Now there's a yellow. So I need a yellow, and it kind of looks like a greenish yellow, but I think I'll. What do we have here? Hansa. Oh yeah, Hansa yellow medium. Hansa. Perfect. I've got a Hansa yellow medium, and Hansa yellow is a greenish yellow. So I'm gonna pull this bad boy up, and we'll get some yellow mixed up here. I'm gonna shake this for a second, a little longer. I tell you what, Wes. I think what I'll finish with tonight is I'll make a little pin wash of the acrylic, and we'll light the Falcon up for sure before we finish. I want to get it to a point where I'm happy with it, not just sort of meh. Here we go. I want some yellow right there. This is too what's the word I'm looking for? Too deep of a yellow. So I'm gonna mix it in with my kind of base color there. There we go. My brush. Wash the old brush off. All right. And I'm going to mix it until I'm happy in my eyes with the yellow. And that ain't bad already. There we go. So this isn't white. I'm mixing it with my 80% gray. They call it neutral gray 8. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay, there we go. And for water, I just have I have my beautiful Pringle chip container. I kept a bunch of these from the trip because they're great. They're really good. They're they're really good water brushes for this kind of stuff. You're making me really want to pull mine out and do it. I'm concerned about going down a rabbit hole. Oh, which one? The fine molds one or the Bandai one here? I will say this. I don't want to sound, like too gripey. Like I don't want to be that fan. I had a blast building that Millennium Falcon. It was one of the most fun because there's so damn many parts. There's like what, 800 parts or some stupid thing like that. It's crazy how many parts are in that kit. And they're all the little fiddly bits that you put on. It's just really it's a fun model to build. Um I got the build part done. I even installed some lights and I did some other fun stuff. I did a custom cockpit of my own creation. It's got the engine lights on it. It just needs to be finished and then this done to it. So I don't know what my problem is. All right, let's get some yellow in here. All right, there we go. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. And I'll tell you what my problem. I'll tell you what my problem is. Oh, this Bandai. Yeah. This thing's a blast, Wes. I'm not gonna lie. I was so thrilled with these. The girls got these for me for Christmas one year, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is so cool." Oh yeah, it was the same year that they got me the what was it? Is that the only yellow? Are you kidding me? I mixed all this up for that? There's just those? No way. Get out. No, there's going to be one more yellow over here. Anyway, yeah, they got me this kit, and I thought it was really cool. I do. Hey, Ginger's here. How you doing, Ginger? Greetings and salutations. Um, no. We're what a piece of junk. We're we're falconing it tonight, right? So there we go. Yes. Oh, that's just fun. Yeah, see, it's a little patchy. All the grays. Sorry about that. Uh, all the grays are drying very dark. That's a little unfortunate. That's okay. Once we get some dry brushing in on that, that'll correct all those. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. So yeah, let me get this back in focus. There we are. About there. Yeah, about that. Okay, cool. You're not wrong. Rabbit hole's worth going down. Build the kit. Build the kit. Steve Iverson used to tell me that. He's like, just build the damn kit, and he's right. You just got to do it. Just pull it out and build it. Don't get too hung up. Have a good time with it. I have like 4 or 5 of these mini Star Wars kits. Yeah, it's the best, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna do a little. Let's do that right now. Let's see. Where's my burnt umber? There we go. Raw umber. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So now the next step that I'm going to do right here, I'm just going to do a little bit of it. I think it's going to be really cool, and yeah, I'm just going to do it. We'll have a good time. We'll see how far this goes. So I've got some raw umber. This is of course, a deep chocolate brown would be the best way to put it. Um, I don't I don't like to go straight black for my panel lines and washes. I used to. I mean, it depends on the kit, right? But for this one, at this scale, the only things I want black on this model are windows. So I'm gonna go with that. Oh, my it's not hot there yet. Let me just that's the only thing with this lens that I'm using. The depth of field isn't too great. So all right. And besides, the Falcon is it's a little warm toned anyway, right? So I'm not going to worry too much about this. Now, what do you think? Should I what should I add as a to break up the surface tension? I know what I'm going to add. This I mix up my own eyeglass stuff, and it has a tiny, tiny drop of it has a couple of drops of a dish soap, and that breaks up surface tension a little bit. So we'll see if that works out. So I'm gonna take some of the paint. We're gonna thin it down. Can you even see this? We're gonna take some of the paint, and we're gonna thin it down here. It's not that dark, but that's okay. Actually, is there any blue? Yeah, there's some blue. There we go. Add a little touch of blue. That'll gray it up. There we go. I add some cerulean blue to it. That's what we want. Oh, you do that too? Yeah, very cool. Okay, now this is where it gets fun. I'm going to try to avoid the paint that is uh, very definitely still wet, but let's just try this in here on a few of these and see what happens. There we go. So you run this over, you let that go on in, and then you get all of this really cool detail, and then you just brush it off. And we'll do that just kind of all over the model, and you'll start to see it kind of get in there. Let that go. Get a little bit of this. There we go. A little moisture on the paper towel. Just get a slightly moist, and then do a. There we go. Is it becoming apparent? Yeah. I also like my Braun electric shaver cleaner. Oh yeah, that stuff's. Oh yeah, that stuff. It works out great. Yeah. The problem is there's so much alcohol in this that it's gonna evaporate out. So we'll just do a bunch of these. Yeah, you just kind of come in here. I gotta watch it. I wanted to demonstrate this, and really just kind of test it myself because I haven't really done this flavor of. I actually haven't done a wash with these paints. Now that I think about it, it's been that long. Yay! We're just gonna put some on here, and hopefully I don't just like wipe off everything I just painted. No, not too much. So the goal here is to not leave too much on the surface. I'll do the half. Oh, forgot about this one. I'll do the half up here. Oh, I don't want to pull any pieces off. There we go. And it's okay to go really fast, go really slow. It's entirely up to you. I tend to go a little slower because if you go too aggressive on this, it can kind of really get out of hand. But yeah, here we go. I'm almost to the end of this stuff. So let me see here. This is one step to call out your details, and sometimes it takes a couple of passes here. See, there we go. I got a little aggressive in cleaning it out. And if nothing else, this will just help you start pre-dirtying the model. I do want to do pastels and some some dry brushing and stuff, but this is a good step too. There we go. So now we have a half and half kind of demonstration. It's stupid expensive, so I started making my own. Oh, that's right. Cameron says, "What's my favorite old Republic spaceship?" Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that one for a minute, Cameron, because man, I can think of some that are really cool. Hang tight. I'm gonna think about this for a moment. Here we go. I'm gonna mix up some more of this. Well, okay. Now I'm going through the movies in my head to see what kind of what were my favorites, right? That's pretty funny. Yeah. Okay, because I like the Tantive 4 so much. In the Phantom Menace, again, the very first spaceship we see is like a Tantive 4 flavored old Republic ship, right? Another consular diplomatic cruiser, right? So I like that one a lot. In fact, I think that was my favorite from the Phantom Menace. I really did like the Naboo look and feel with all the chrome stuff. Now, this one's going a little darker. I like that a lot, honestly. But it felt discordant with my expectations for a Star Wars ship. So it took me a little while to warm up to some of the designs in the Old Republic. I did not like the Naboo starfighter at first, like at all. I thought, what the actual? What were you thinking, Lucas? Um, but it grew on me. Oh, that went on a little dark, but maybe that's a good thing. There we go. So yeah. Um, Attack of the Clones for me was really tricky because my favorite ship in that one was pretty much this, Slave One, Jango Fett's Slave One. That gives you, I mean, yeah. My favorite ship in the Attack of the Clones is a ship that was already in Empire Strikes Back, but with a different paint job, right? Okay, so that got a little darker, right? That got a little darker, but check that out. That's working, right? It's really working. So yeah. The fun thing about this, Wes, if you do decide to pull this out, I swear it's like, a couple of nights you'll be done with it. I built it in like an hour, I think, and it was a fun hour. Don't get me wrong. And then the paint job has been basically what you've watched me doing here tonight, with the exception of spraying a base color, right? So there we go. All right. It's all, you know what? This is already this is getting very Falcon looking. Oh, the Venator. Thank you. Yeah. The Naboo ship did look really futuristic and sleek. Um, Wes says, I have that red cruiser from the very first scene. This sort of looks like an RB. Yeah, yeah. The Venator class. Okay, that was the Star Destroyer from Revenge of the Sith, right? Forgive me for forgetting my Star Destroyers, but I think that's the one. Man, that thing's looking not bad. This thing's looking okay. I'm getting there, you know? All right, let's get the top. I'm with you, the Naboo Starfighter, but what they've done with the Naboo Starfighter and the Mandalorian really made me like that version. Well, so what made me start to appreciate the old Republic ships more is that they were kind of intended to be old the way we look at Art Deco, and obviously they had Art Deco influences. So when you kind of that friendlied it up for me a little bit, and I'm like, okay, great. So this is like this is clearly a very very rich, well off planet in its own regard. Maybe not enough to hold off the Empire or the Republic when they were being dicks. Um, and putting trade wars in place that make no sense other than to put yourself into power and establish yourself over everybody else. We are talking about a fictional universe here, so yeah, so that's what kind of made me like the old Republic ships more. First viewing, I was not sure what I was looking at. I'm like, okay, I kind of see where you're going, and I'll trust you on this. And then you see the rest of the Phantom Menace and went, no. I, sorry. No, 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 no. It wasn't like that at all. I had a good time with the Phantom Menace. Yeah, anyway. Oh man, now that's looking smoking. Look at that. There we go. That's starting to work here. I need better light. I like the weird variations of the cargo class ships with similar design but different to the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I kind of had hoped that maybe we'd see more, of these ships in their new state, right? Like you'd see the same shapes, but the newer versions, at least some evidence of it, right? And there are, but they're like background shots. One of the Falcons going towards the um what is it, the little landing facility on Coruscant. There's like one in the background basically. So yeah. Okay, I'm kind of digging where this is going here, honestly. It's a little dark for my tastes, but we are also going to be dry brushing. So, yeah. Now I'm trying to think of the ships from the last movie, the Revenge of the Sith, right? I mean, there's so many. I did like the Republic starfighters that looked like early versions of the X-Wing, but again, mainly because they looked like an X-Wing, which was sort of my childhood expectation of hardware from Star Wars. So, that was that. And including the Tantive 4 when they showed it in the halfway through, and they pick up Yoda and Obi-Wan. Although I never envisioned the Tantive 4 being big enough to birth its own starfighter. That was a weirdness. It wasn't the Tantive 4 though, right? It was like some other counselor ship. But you could see a trend here developing, is that I'm definitely drawn more um, towards the classic shapes and ships, right? I wasn't really too fond of any of the Star Destroyers. They're okay. They did with the job, but oh man, there was so much stuff on the back that it's really grabbing all that paint and effectively being darker. Apparently ships stick around longer. Yeah, exactly. The ones that don't get destroyed for one reason or another, right? I'm gonna try to pull some of this out before it really sets up. Hang on. Yeah, the Bandai, great job on the detail, but it's a lot of raised detail in the back here, so you're gonna get some action there when you're doing this, and that's okay. Imagine the newer one modded with newer speed enhancements like the Falcon. Yeah. Tasty Wheel says the droids have some generational changes like that. I think so too. Yeah. The fact that the droids were kind of a common thing was very interesting to me, but I still felt like they were. I don't feel like the original Star Wars droids R2D2 and C3PO came from the Old Republic. I feel like those droids were probably created after the fall of the Empire, and when we first see them in, the beginning of Star Wars, sure, they've been around for 10 or 15 years, but they were not like, you know, they certainly weren't Naboo, right? If the Naboo had created their own droids, I guess they probably bought them. Who am I kidding? They weren't making their own droids; they were buying them from a vendor. I don't know. Again, this is something where I would have a difference of opinion with George regarding this. Um, I would also have a conversation with him about how I don't think Jedi need to be dressed like, um, desert hooligans, desert nomads on their planet on the planet of Coruscant. I don't think they should be going around like desert nomads. Hey, I gotta say, I'm thinking this is looking pretty hot here. Boop-a-doo. Where do we acquire this model? Oh, good question, Cameron. Uh, check out. There's a bunch of places. If you check out Cult TV Man, he's a pal of mine. Um, and I really like his shop. He's a good one. This is the kit. This is it's by Bandai, and it's really nice. They have a couple of them, and I think you can still find them pretty readily. I don't think they're out of the I don't think they're out of production, or if they are, there's still plenty in circulation. I usually clear coat before I put a wash over it so it doesn't affect the underlying paint. Everybody, listen to Mediocre Modeler. He is absolutely right. The ideal way to do this would be to blast it with clear so that it doesn't fight with the paint underneath it. And that is the correct way to go regarding this. I don't like, I want to darken some of this to match the top, so I'm going to go over some of this a second time a little bit. I did not do that for this kit. For this build, obviously, I did not do that. And the reason was I felt The worst that I was going to affect was the base color, right? And I just kind of didn't. I was if this was a contest entry mediocre, I definitely would have done a clear coat. But he's absolutely right. If you do a clear acrylic, gloss, better than satin, it will help all of this work. Plus, my base color was reasonably, I don't know, it wasn't very matte finished, so it went on pretty smooth, and I felt like, yeah, um it would probably work fine if I didn't clear coat it. It's a chance, right? I took an educated risk. Oh, gotta get this dish, gotta get the dish. I'm running out of my stuff again. I gotta mix more. Okay. And I just thought I'd take the chance. I just thought, I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see where this goes. And honestly, there's something really fun to me about taking on a model and not being very serious about it. Like, you you have a certain level of skill already, right? And it's sometimes kind of it's kind of like for painters. I always tell them, yeah, do a model in a day or do a painting in an afternoon, like I do on my live stream. It's a nice break from the usual, and it will very much um you'll be surprised at the results. It's also really relaxing. So yeah. Ooh, Mini Falcon. Hey Andrew, how you doing tonight? Hey, we got the Mini Falcon. Mini Falcon and Dog Wonder, greetings. I've been looking for a model. I can't decide on what kind I want. Yeah, for the sheer joy of building a model, these Bandai kits are great, especially if you like Star Wars, because they're gorgeous and they go together like a dream, and you get a very good representation of what they are without having to go to great lengths. Oh, I forgot my magic eye wash to it. The eye wash cleaner for those just joining gives me a little bit of surface tension release for the wash. And yeah, I'm just gonna do that. There we go. The top was a little darker than the bottom, so I'm kind of going over it again just to give it a little incentive, right? There we go. Anyway, where was I? I went too dark again. There we go. So there, top, bottom, top. I You really could do this. You could really get this model to this state in a day, like from the box to painted like this. It's that good. Plus, it's actually a snap fit model. You don't actually have to glue it. The finishing touch of grime of the Falcon can help with some of the flaws. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was a little worried that my gray panels were a little dark, but I don't know. It's kind of fun. I do need to clean up the windows, and that will be so mediocre. Here you go. I will probably do a clear coat and then do some of my touch ups. I think that's probably the way I'll go about this. This one right here just isn't getting as much. There we go. That's grime on there. Oh, I was working my way around these a little bit. So let's get some of that. I don't do enough Star Wars models. And, the Star Trek models that I love the ships and everything, but they're such a, gosh, it's just paint and masking and decals and everything, no seams. It's a pain. Bitch, 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 bitch. My hobbies. It is a pain. It's a pain. Oh, there were some red details inside of this. This is supposedly where the escape pods are. The escape pods were ejected. Yeah, right. But you're right. So I did give this a little, oh man, that's kind of weird. What happened there? It dried too fast and I got some funky bits on it. I got some funky shapes on the top. That's okay. We'll work on that in post. The small size plus, especially when I get hooked and want to build an absurd amount of ships, the small size will help. Everyone, I've heard people complain about, why do the Japanese always do small kits? Well, because they have sensible size apartments. There's only so much you can really do. I'm not going to touch the engine bay on this yet. I'm just going to do some other stuff here. Okay. The reason why I'm keeping going here is that I still feel like there's a couple of spots on this that are a little, like this one is a little light. This one's a little light. This quadrant here, when I say this one, I mean like, quadrant, if you will. So we'll get some paint in there on this and then we'll wipe it off. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I did it again on that side. That's really weird. Okay. But yeah, I am just gonzoing this. So yeah, I'm getting these weird streaks. That was clearly not intentional. But I'm kind of happy with how that's turning out. You bostages. There we go. That's weird. I don't know. This little edge right here that like just kind of stuck. Oh no. That's all right. Oh no. Han's gonna get home and he's gonna be like, who dirtied up my Falcon? There we go. All right. Yeah, see that's fun. Now, the other thing you can do, let me see if I've got that color. Yeah, a little raw sienna. I used to love mini Airfix World War II planes. Oh, the Airfix! Oh my god, those things were great. You had the whole Battle of Britain hanging from your ceiling. A couple of Spitfires, a little BF-109 action, BF-109E. Yeah. Mediocre Modeler says he was at Hobby Lobby today and they had some of these kits. They're running the 40% off box models until Saturday. Great. Awesome. Okay. Now, because the Millennium Falcon's a little rust... What the heck is up with that? Holy crap. That was not the color I expected it to be. I've got some raw sienna here, but it needs to be shaken up pretty bad. I don't think Han would say much if he he drives the hell out of that thing anyway. Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely some places where you can get these still, which is really great. I don't think Bandai is going to give up anytime soon. So now I have a little different color. I have a little lighter color here. This is a raw sienna. I threw a little blue at it, just a sort of, yeah, there we go. We'll just do a little bit. What I want is this yellowish grime, because if you've ever seen like cars and planes, they don't always have the same color grime. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this, and we're going to come in here, and we're going to do a little bit on there, just little touches of it in and amongst the... Yeah, it doesn't take a lot, but just giving it... Oh, man, you're never going to notice that it's way, way too dark. I'm so sorry, everybody. I've got to get a better light. I'll do a better light on this side next time. I apologize. But, you get a little slightly different color going in there, and it gives you just enough variance. That was a little extreme. Okay, I'm going to grab this guy here. I'm kind of making this up as I go, too, So we'll put a little bit on this side and write it off. You don't want a ton, but enough just to give it a little color variance. Just like that. A little bit over there. A little bit over here. There we go. A little bit on... I'll do a little touch here and there on top. It's like, this is where the motor oil got into it, right? So you're going to have a little bit of that. the motor oil. Now, if you get it to a point where you think, all right, I've done way too much and it's too dark or something, That's when you let it sit. You definitely want to let it sit overnight at the very least, and come back and reevaluate it, like within a day, because all the paint colors, acrylic is terrible about this. It does shift, right? And I guess I can't tell you exactly how I'm going about what I'm doing right now. I'm just looking at it and going, I want warmer colors here because my gray was kind of a cool toned. The wash that I put on was kind of cool tone, so I want a little extra grime of a different flavor and color. There we go. All right, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Oh, let's get a little bit on the gun too. There we go. Yeah, that's Hobby Lobby. Boom, rich Corellian, yeah, rich Corellian leather seats. Ah, rich Corinthian Corellian leather. Wes says, I got a 1/350th Titanic model that was marked down and I had a 50%. You paid $35 for the giant Titanic model? You dog. That's awesome. I thought the new looking paint job of it was really cool before neglect. Honestly, I kind of did too. I like the Solo movie. I'm one of the weirdos that like the Solo movie. I really enjoyed the Solo movie. I'm not a fan of how they depicted the brand new Falcon. I like some of it. I'm like, okay, I'm on board with it. The interior, fantastic. I don't like what they did with the mandibles. Having it be like some kind of like little craft. I thought that was a little bit silly, and gets away from it being kind of a tramp freighter sort of thing, right? So yeah, yeah. You think it was originally 150? Yeah. I commend you on that one. That is a remarkable purchase. I'm going back on my original design idea. I want the detail back here after all, and I will figure out a way to work with it. There we go. Yeah. There we are. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Oh, I knew there was one thing I forgot. Okay, yeah. These guys right here, right here. They definitely needed to be darker. And again, I'm not worried about staying in the circle lines here. I'm gonna do some dry brushing to pull detail off later, and this will help a ton. Whoops, there's one. There we go. Hell yeah. You came in that thing? You're braver than I thought. Ha 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 ha. Yes. All right. Where'd my stand go? There we are. I think I am going to. Oh no! The guns on the bottom were This looks like he got a brand new set of guns for the bottom. It's like guns. I am so white. I'm the whitest guns that you'll ever get for this ship. Do you think it's all for the good of the country? Yes. Pining for the fjords. Now I'm slipping into Monty Python. Okay. Yeah, and then this this panel is unusually clean. Get up there. Get some dirt on there. Listen, mister. We're not you don't get to just get clean on me like that. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna just like let me pop the stand on there. There we go. And yeah. That's that bad boy right there will make the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. Yeah, that weird note thing was kind of fugly. What the heck, man? I tell you, Wes, you know, I used to have a dream that I wanted to design these things for these companies. Oh, Cameron says my great grandpa had made a wooden British sail ship, and it was like 3 feet. It has its own gallery case of glass. Oh wow, did that? I have a great uncle that was building, I think, the Constitution, the USS Constitution, and he was building it out of the hardwood from an old sofa that was made out of some hardwood. So he was doing the hand built thing too. That's amazing. And I think that's very, very cool. Hey, Cameron, if you get a photo of it, go ahead and share it in the Discord. I'd love to see that. Anyway, oh, my stand is backwards. There we go. So, I'll tell you, as I'm sitting here admiring this thing, dude, that is more than good enough to be a filming model. Thank you. One of my favorite photos from the making of Return of the Jedi, they did a little falcon, a little smaller than this, and it was just in somebody's hand, but it was like, I forget, it's like someone was just holding a falcon like this, and I'm like, oh my God, I want that falcon so badly. Anyway, yeah, I dig it. Um, for a long time, as I think I was starting to say, for a long time, and this goes way back, I wanted to be the person designing these ships. And especially for Star Trek, I'm not going to lie. I would have loved to have been on some of the Star Trek design teams. I know a number of the designers that were on the Star Trek design teams, and I love their work. I absolutely do. Every show has hits or misses, and it's not the fault of the designers all the time. you know, and I think that's the case with the Falcon from the Han Solo movie. I think it was designed by committee. We've all seen that happen in many places, and I've certainly seen it in the tech field. So for me, I uh, I think that while I would have loved my time designing ships for Star Trek and Star Wars, I know it would have been as much of a grind as any tech job that I have. And realistically, I'm certain I would have turned something out that people would have been like, "What the F were you actually thinking?" So yeah, let's do that. We'll give it my logo treatment. There we go. Give it my logo treatment. There we are, right there. So yeah, so I think I've come to the point in my life where I'm kind of okay with the fact that I didn't go in that field. It would have been just as crazy as any of the rest of them. It lives in your parents' house, Cameron says. Okay, cool. Well, it's down the road. If you happen to be here, I think that'd be really fun. I read all the Aubrey Maturin novels, and I've always wanted a scale version of The Surprise. Oh, fucking love that movie. I'm on to book 5, Andrew. I kind of took a break from it. I burned through the first 4 books. I'm working on one of my YouTube videos. I'm working on are the Star Trek movies, the best Star Trek movies that aren't Star Trek movies, and I think my number 1 slot is still Master and Commander. And damn, they should have done more of those movies. It's one of my favorite. I just watched it a couple of weeks ago. But yes, somebody had a couple of years ago. I was looking into figuring out how to make my own model of the HMS, the Surprise, right? Or the HMS Rose, which is the ship they actually used in the movie, renamed the Surprise. And damn it, I got to get to San Diego and visit it at some point. It's on display. You can visit the Surprise. Apparently, there's 2 pirate model ships that are the same scale, and like if you take one and extend it with the hull of the other a little bit, you get the Surprise, basically, or at least close enough where you can do it. And yeah, that's right. And round 2 was the one. I think they were old Lindbergh kits that round 2 repopped. Actually, I'll have to dig it up, Andrew. But I recall at Wonderfest, I was talking to Jamie Hood, who's the product manager for round 2 models, and they had released a couple of these, and I was sharing this story with him, and his eyes were like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I never got. I should probably write to him again. If anybody would be willing to do that, round 2 is always kind of looking to figure out ways to repackage some of their models. It wouldn't be hard for them to retool those ships into the Surprise. I think that would be very, very cool, and I would certainly buy that. That's fun. Yeah, that's a good time. Sorry, I got distracted. Oh my gosh. Da-da-da. It was such a great series, wasn't it? Oh man. David Kelly says, "Look great." Thank you, David. I really appreciate it. This is a more than respectable paint job. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I hope you can see that. Really, it's. I mean, it's easy for me to say. It's not hard. In the terms of model paint jobs, you can have so much fun with these because really, A lot of it, as you can see, is in the dirtying, right? Uh, One tip for you, you don't have to go. You probably shouldn't go like bright white, titanium white for the base color. I didn't. The base color I did was closer to this. So like yeah, we'll pick up with the blockade runner on another time. But yeah, just to give you a comparison, it's kind of an off-white. If you This is how they built the original Star Wars models. They did it kind of like what I just showed you. They started with white, threw some panel colors on with paint, and then dirtied the shit out of them. So and they did that specifically so they could do them fast. It's pretty fun, but yeah. So I would encourage you, if you're excited about this size model is perfect to test this stuff out. Oh my gosh. You don't think that you can manage something this small? Oh yeah, if vision is an issue, and it is with some of us. They have larger versions of this. In fact, I think I was saying this last time. The 1/44th scale version of this Falcon is about well, it's basically I think twice the size of this. What scale was this one? I forget what they don't probably have a scale. It's box scale, right? The 1/44th version, 44th scale version of this Falcon is a stunning model kit. It's totally worth it. I can't wait to get one myself. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate you think it was a good, respectable paint job and very pew pew worthy. Yay! Very cool brand flex. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And Picard, Make It So comes from those books. What? Make It So comes from I didn't realize that. Oh my gosh. Well, that makes sense. I mean, Picard clearly read the Aubrey books. I mean, come on. Oh, your mom's going to send you a photo? Yep, share it on the Discord. There we go. Yeah. All right, Andrew, I'll see if I can find the model ship recipe for the surprise, because that's been on my list too. Yeah, that movie's just cool as shit. And the books are amazing. I really enjoy them quite a bit. Paint looks amazing. Thank you. I the you can actually you can go pretty slow. I blew through this fast. As long as you don't worry about messing it up, because you're not going to mess this up at all. If at any point you wanted to change this up for any reason, the next step for me would be to kind of add some highlights, and we'll do some dry brushing. But again, I have to wait until this sets up. And the windows here in particular are really horrible. I definitely need to give them some love. But and the window facets inside of the turret the turret gun ports there too. But I'm gonna leave them for right now. We'll let it do its thing. Awesome. Anyhow, that was pretty fun. I guess we'll pick this one up another time. I've always been threatening to do another live stream during the week, and who knows? I might just pick it up and go. Now that my cameras are there, set up nicely, I think it's worked out pretty good. You built a Constitution model as a kid. I did all the rigging. Oh my gosh. I I haven't done a model ship myself, but I looked into it. I would like to. I don't know if I have the patience for it at this point in my life. Back in the day, I did a pair of paintings from the scene with the surprise versus the French ship. Oh, I love those shots. Oh my God. I haven't tried to paint those in probably about 8 years, Mike. Hey, again, if share it in the Discord, I'd love to see them. I love those shots from that movie. Um, they're the making of book about Master and Commander is really nice. The cast and crew had a very good time shooting that movie. I mean, it was as difficult as you'd expect. It took all summer. Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh. Rigging on a ships? Yeah, I would have to definitely do the rigging if I were going to do a model ship, but I know it's going to be a challenge to my soul. This version has limo limo tint. It does. It's got the tint windows, man. No one's going to see into that thing. Are you kidding me? Hey, thanks a lot, David. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Yeah, great scene. Uh, yeah, just the first volleys at that beginning shot are incredible. Is that blockade runner the same scale as the Falcon? No, I believe so. Okay, funny question. So originally, this was going to be the Millennium Falcon, right? The model that they used for the blockade runner was very much going to be that. And the reason they didn't do that and they decided to redesign it and give it the Falcon treatment is it looked too much like Space 1999. You think they are in scale, Wes? Well, uh, possible. In my head canon, I think that this is a bigger ship. I'm sorry. I in my head canon, I think the blockade runner is a larger ship. I feel like if you got like 8 people inside the Falcon on any given day, it would be a nightmare. But this being a counselor ship, probably has a crew of about 30 just to run the ship, and then an entourage of people in it. Um, but that's me. I feel like the Falcon would be half scale to this, but don't quote me. Yeah, I think the blockade runner's bigger. They might have put him in the same scale with what they have, but yeah. Well, uh, the blockade runner certainly has enough room for multiple levels in it, even just looking straight at the model. But yeah, you just realizing your mom's phone's camera phone's like, don't worry about it. That's okay. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna judge on mom's phone photos. It was HMS Bounty. Oh, she did. Okay, that was the ship was the Bounty. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, you're gonna make me. You guys are gonna make me want to break out one of my ship models, right? I think I've got the Constitution. Oh wait, I might have given that one away. I'm sorry. Yeah, there was a point where I realized it wasn't going to happen, so I think I might have donated that kit, which is a little unfortunate. Oh boy. Can you put up? Can I put up? Oh yeah, yeah. Are you asking me or are you asking Cameron? I'm not sure. Okay. So there we go. We have ships. We have many ships. I agree with the sentiment, but I think the Falcon is big and empty. Great for tugboat cargo. Yeah, yeah. Um. Oh, link to Discord. Oh yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Let me do that real quick. I do have that. Let me. I'll have it here somewhere. We'll do a little bit of that action while I'm doing it. Looking for my links. There we go. Ah, I'm yeah, I'm being beguiled by my own computer. There we go. Thank you. Desktop management systems of death. There we go. Awesome. Hey, while everyone's here, if you like the stream, go ahead and hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. That would be fantastic. Oh, there is a box with both ships. The Rebel Blockade Runner is 1/1000 and the Falcon is 1/350. Thank you, Wes. That is very cool. Okay, awesome. I appreciate it. You can see the seats in the Falcon cockpit. Scale wouldn't allow many people to fit in the Blockade Runner. Yeah, I mean, my gosh, the we've seen through the front of this thing a couple of like once or twice, and it's huge. I mean, this thing probably has 3, 4 decks in it. Like, um, so this thing's like Nostromo big in my head canon. This thing's like the size of the Nostromo, but longer. If that makes it the Nostromo, but longer. No one will hear that one for you. So yeah. Um, whoop. Very, very fun. Ba-da-ba-boo. The Blockade Runner. Oh yeah, yeah. Let me post another link here for everyone too. Just so we got a few more in here. First off, we've got the lovely If you wish to support my stream, and who wouldn't, you have you have a lovely link to the store, and I will also leave you the link to wonderful our wonderful cat rescue. We have 20 cats in the house that we've rescued after the move, and we're making a second YouTube channel for them. And this is true. I just haven't done it this week. All the shit I need to do, holy crap. Oh my gosh, I love it. A lot of irons in the fire. That'd be the best way to put it. A lot of things brewing here in the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Studios. There we go. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I think I'm gonna check out. I'll get some photos of this after the stream and post them in the same Discord. How does that sound? I don't think the stand was properly in. Crap. I don't think the little stand bit is properly on. There we go. That's better. So yeah, thank you everybody for dropping by tonight and joining me on the little ship painting adventure. This is fun. I appreciate it. We will definitely be back next week. If you want to follow me, I'm on Blue Sky, Blackbird CD, and I also have Patreon. Take a look for Christopher Dahl or Space Art by Christopher Dahl on Patreon, where we're giving you behind-the-scenes information, peeks at projects. You get early views of the YouTube videos that are actually in progress. So thank you all. I do appreciate it. Hope you're all having a good time. Stay safe. Stay warm. Don't turn into a fascist. No, keep the arms bent. No Nazi salutes this week if you could avoid it. I mean, I know it's hard. Some people just absolutely can't help themselves, but I'm pretty sure all of us have a little bit of self-control. So thank you very much. All right, everyone. I'm gonna check you out with our outro. Thank you for joining, and we will catch you all next time. Peace out, everybody.
All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here, and let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. that just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know?
I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.